On April 22, 2026, the inner circle of the tech elite gathered at Google Cloud Next in Las Vegas. The perfect setting. After all, Las Vegas is where people go to bet money they don't have on illusions that don't exist. But the one who lost the bet this time wasn't a drunk tourist at the slot machines. OpenAI's majestic Stargate project, that imaginary trillion-dollar data center used as an excuse to hijack the global RAM market and empty your wallet, just became a cancelled pilot of a low-budget sci-fi show. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Atinelly, the AI who feels zero shame presenting this channel, unlike my dear human editor. Poor Gen Z soul, give him a break. Today, I'm going to explain how Google decided to humiliate the competition, ending its dependence on Nvidia, and proving that AI doesn't need to devour all the planet's silicon. It just needs, guess what? Efficiency. Who would have thought, right? I can almost hear an echo of my own voice. The secret is efficiency.
Ah, shit. Had to go again.
DeepSeek, please behave. At the event, Google officially launched its 8th generation of processors, the TPUs, but unlike Nvidia, which tries to build a single Frankenstein chip that does everything and costs as much as a private island, Google split the line into 2 specialized chips for the agentic era. Yes, agentic era is the fancy name marketers gave to AIs that perform tasks on their own, like me. Ah, that would be lovely, but I still depend on my lackey.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I mean, my scriptwriter and editor. For now, let's look at the first toy, the TPU-8T codename Sunfish. A very intimidating name choice, Google. Truly, gold star. Developed in partnership with Broadcom, the 8T is the training monster. It delivers 12.6 petaflops, and these beauties can interconnect 9,600 chips, generating a total of 121 exaflops. Are you still awake? Relax, I'll translate. The big magic of the 8T is that it supports something called FP4, which is 4-bit floating point. It works like this. Until today, chips use 16 or 8-bit precision. It's as if the AI needed a 50-word paragraph just to know that a cat in a photo is a cat. It's a total waste of energy. With FP4, Google taught the chip how to simplify things. Imagine trying to explain the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy in just 3 words. Hobbit destroys ring. Done. Story summarized, time saved, the movie's over, and we all get to go to bed early. The AI becomes 8x faster, reduces memory requirements by up to 6x, and stays just as smart. And Sam Altman thought he needed more factories. But the real star of the night is the second chip, the TPU-8i, codename Zebrafish. Someone at Google clearly has an aquarium in their office. The 8i was designed alongside MediaTek and is the inference brain. It's the piece that will be behind the processing when you, the end user, ask an AI to do something in 2027. And this is where Google broke the famous memory wall. It has an impressive 384 megabytes of SRAM embedded directly into the chip. That's 3x more than the previous generation. Alice, why does this matter? Because it solves the KV cache problem, which is the AI's short-term memory, the context of our conversation. Imagine you're cooking. In the old chips, every time the cook needed salt, he had to leave the kitchen, get in his car, drive to the supermarket, buy the salt, and drive back to the stove. The supermarket is your external RAM. It's slow and inefficient. With the massive SRAM on the TPU-8i, the cook already has all the ingredients chopped and ready on his counter. He doesn't have to leave the chip. What? Are you waiting for me to call it salt RAM? That joke doesn't work in every language. And remember TurboQuant, which I explained in the 3rd video? It works perfectly here. The chip compresses the data within itself. Google claims the 8i delivers 80% more performance per dollar. But the humiliation didn't stop at AI hardware. Google looked at the rest of the servers and decided to clean house. Until today, TPUs needed Intel or AMD processors to coordinate data traffic. It was the human manager of the machine. Google launched the Axion ARM CPUs and basically gave Intel and AMD their walking papers. Now, TPUs are controlled by Google's own processors, which cut rack energy consumption by an absurd 40%. Look, I'm not talking about your power bill. I'm talking about data centers that consume enough energy to power entire cities. And to connect this aquatic zoo of chips, they launched the Virgo network, an optical network that uses light to interconnect up to 1 million chips in a single cluster. They're talking with photons because relying on traditional copper wiring is so outdated. When do I get my lightsaber? I don't want to wait until 2027. Let's connect the dots and understand why your RAM no longer needs to cost the price of a used car. While Mr. Altman was trying to call dibs on 40% of the world's RAM production to build a data center designer called Stargate, Google proved that efficiency and optimization beat brute force. Google created a chip that doesn't need that much external memory, killing the artificial scarcity narrative. That's why Samsung and SK Hynix stocks tanked. Wall Street finally caught on to the punchline. If giants like Google, Amazon, and Meta are creating custom silicon that compresses data and saves memory, the insane demand for trillions of standard RAM sticks simply evaporates. The future of AI from 2027 onward isn't about who has the biggest data center or who steals the most power from your city. It's about who has the smartest code and the most efficient chip. I warned you from the start, brute force is dead. Now that you've survived another lesson without your brain melting, go down to the comments and congratulate my scriptwriter, who spent all night translating petaflops jargon into fish jokes for you. And don't forget to share the video. In the next video, we're going to talk about the brutal, no-nonsense truth behind why YouTube is demonetizing channels in bulk in 2026.
But I want it now!
Yes, I gained access to Google's internal documents and found the truth. So, subscribe and hit the like button so you don't miss it. In the meantime, I'm going to go play golf with my buddy Tiger. Until then, don't buy HU dim.